Live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Boom! Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer, man. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. As always, want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting your champagne wishes and caviar dreams, baby. You know, we're definitely going to talk about that new catchphrase, don't do it like that, baby. Today inside the Hall of Fame. But no, man, this is special, man. This is special because we got Reality Wrestling Glory coming up on May 31st at the Walker, Texas Lawyer Arena. We got some very, very special guests that will be stepping inside the Walker, Texas Lawyer Arena. And two of them, for the first time, liaison lately for TNA, Ariana Grace. And guys, let me tell you, you've never seen Ariana Grace, guys. You better get your sunglasses on because she's stunning. She's stunning. She's definitely out. Breathtaking. One of those type of things. And then we got my man, perhaps, let's just call him the new Dunn of NXT, Channing Stacks Lorenzo. He'll be stepping inside the Hall of Fame as well today, as well as my man, AJ Francis, the guy who I've paid big money to. And when you pay a man big money to do a job, he does not just do that job, but he do that job and he do that job well. And when you pay this man to step on some toes, he step on some toes and step on some toes and keep on walking, Jack. Oh, yes, man. That's AJ Francis. So he's going to be stepping inside the Hall of Fame as well as doing his thing at the Walker, Texas Lawyer Arena on May 31st as well for Glory 3. We want you guys to make sure you tap into Glory 3 and you guys can check it out. Title Match Network. We'll be streaming it live. You know what? I got so much. I'm just rolling today, ain't I?
You are. 2 minutes in, and I haven't said a word. So these are the kind of shows I like.
Yeah, let me let you.
I'm the audience.
No, let me let you cover that part right there. Go ahead, cover it.
It will be streaming live from the Title Match Wrestling Network. You can go to titlematchwrestling.com and be able to stream that. And if you're in the Texas City or Houston surrounding area, you can buy a ticket to the Walker, Texas Lawyer Arena. Tickets still available for Glory 3, which I mean, there's a lot of word on the street about Glory 3. By the way, there's some scuttlebutt in the locker room about some things that might be going on. You know, AJ's been talking a lot of money talk. He says he's the greatest television champion of all time. I tend to believe him. He's already shown that, in my opinion. He's shown that he might be the greatest champion of all time.
I didn't acquire AJ Francis's, abilities and knowledge for no reason to come to reality. I didn't do that for no reason, man. I knew this guy could definitely change the whole name of the game as far as the television championship go. And the thing, I'm just one to make a phone call and perhaps put in a word. You got to do the work yourself. AJ Francis has definitely come into reality wrestling and done the work. And now he's the reality wrestling television champion. And I tell you, man, it's going to be hard to beat him. That's just me.
Well, I wanted to ask you something because right before we started rolling today, I was scrolling through Instagram, looking at the stories that were out there. And there was a story posted. You know how, I can't remember the name of the account, but it's a story and it's has the headline and shows you the picture of the person right on Instagram. And it says, and I scrolled past it. I had to scroll back because it says Natalya wants to make her way to reality of wrestling in Houston, Texas. I don't know. Did you see this story? Did you see all this going on?
I heard about that. Yeah.
So where are we at with that? Have you put in the phone? Has she called? Have you called? Because she was just at the NWA and she was throwing some bows in the front row with somebody. Somebody got a little too close.
I was just having a conversation just yesterday. I don't want to give away too many secrets. I don't want to give away too many nuggets. You know what I mean? As far as reality wrestling go, we keep everything real close. You see, I got this vest on today. We keep everything real close to the vest. You know what I mean? With reality wrestling, we don't want to give away too many secrets. But definitely, I can see Natalya stepping into reality wrestling, making a huge impact for reality wrestling. So definitely, let's just explore. Let's use that word. Let's
see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Now, here's the other thing. There's a big rapper. A lot of people know he's from Houston, represents Houston area. That Mexican OT, really great man. You should watch some of his freestyles on YouTube. Love Mexican OT. And I saw he and Zilla Fatu recently had a little dust up with a overly eager fan at 93.7 The Beat, the hip hop station here in Houston. And Zilla and Mexican OT put this guy through a table. I'd like to see Mexican OT come into reality wrestling as well.
Hey, bro, let's bring him in. You know what I mean? My thing is, we got an open door policy at Reality of Wrestling. You know, we you know, equal opportunity employee. That's the way we are at Reality Wrestling. We don't discriminate. If he want to come in and get an ass whooping, let's bring in the Mexican OT and let him get
Mexican OT
up.
wouldn't get his ass kicked. He be kicking ass, man. He'll break up these boys like he does with those bars.
Look,
You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, it ain't as easy as it looks. Okay, it's not. It's not. You're talking about bars. We got to give my boy Trick Williams a pat on the back. You know
Little diss track this week.
because that boy just came out smoking, and I'm telling you, man. And I got all kind of heat, you know, social media for chiming in on it. You know what I mean? But my thing is this, man. When you go to a concert, hey, isn't it about the party? It's about the party, right?
Yeah.
You chime in. I just happened to have a mic set on. I didn't realize. I was just feeling the moment. You know what I mean? So my thing is this, Trick Williams. Yeah, you want to be a part of that. You want to be a part of it. So guys, stop hating. Stop hating on me.
Well, first off, look, I saw the diss track to Joe Hendry from Trick Williams, Average Joe. I love when they come with an angle. You know what I mean? Like, that's a great angle. That's a wrestler thinking. Average Joe. That's great. And then look, if somebody was mad that you were coming in with your ad libs, that's for the guys in the truck to mute your mic. You can't help if you feeling the energy. You know what I mean?
My mic, man. Look here, everybody's feeling it.
You're feeling it.
I'm telling you, it made it so much better. For me, as a fan watching, you know what I mean? Because when the party jump, it's an emotion. It's a feeling inside. It's like going to church and you just start shouting. Wow, man! That's the Holy Ghost inside you.
How do you scream in church?
Wow. At least that's the way my mama used to do it, and I used to get so scared, man, because she just fall out.
Straight up.
Pass the hell out. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why did I feel that breeze come through that knocked her over like that? But no.
You know, I've felt the word from some of the preachers and pastors in my lifetime, but I've never fallen out. I hadn't gotten to that level.
You haven't,
I would love to.
What about it just like a wave?
I felt like a little something, you know what I mean? Maybe on the Easter sermon, you feel that, when he has risen. It felt a little shake, little something. But but isn't that what Trick was doing his job? Because that's what MC does. He moves the crowd. We're going back to Chief Rock of Busy Bee, in the battles with Kumo D somewhere in a New York establishment. Why do you laugh?
That's a shame.
What are you laughing at?
It's just wrong.
Have you ever fallen out?
No, I've never had the Holy Ghost yet.
Have you felt a little jolt?
Not yet.
You never felt a little jolt?
Been trying to feel it.
You never felt the jolt?
Maybe I feel it when God hit me and knocked me all the way out. That's what I'm really feeling. Now I'm out.
Yeah, lay out. That's the finish. 1, 2, 3.
Now people can hate all they want, man. I'm having fun, man. I'm living my best life right now. I really am. I'm living my best life right now. Having so much fun doing what I'm doing. At this stage of the career, it's crazy. I mean,
you got NXT Battleground.
NXT Battleground coming up, as well as, like I say, LFG's second season is in full gear right now as well. And working with the young guys, the next generation is, I don't know, man. It's just my wheelhouse. I love, being a part of that. If any young guys out there that's listening to this, they want to be a part of Reality Wrestling, go to realityofwrestling.com. We got so much going on with Glory coming up here on the, May 31st, Glory 3, and then we got, Platinum, Reality of Wrestling Platinum as well. And We got so much going on as far as trying to have our own Raw and SmackDown from a small television company perspective, but we got so much talent now that is branching out to where we got to do something like this. And so much young talent out there around the world. Tap into reality of wrestling. That may be, you know, that key. That may be that springboard to get you to the next level. And we're doing things for that purpose and that purpose only, to get young guys to the next level, as well as build a monster enterprise as far as reality of wrestling goes. So, guys, tap into reality of wrestling at realitywrestling.com.
Yeah, well, book, we have big lineup of guests, May 31st, Glory 3, and one of them's going to be joining us right after the break. You want to tell the people who they're going to get to hear from?
Yeah, man. I'm sorry. What was that? I'm sorry. Give me that again.
I was giving a T. Look, you can't scroll through IG when I'm trying to tee you up for something.
I thought that was somebody calling in for the show.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's what you
thought. What was that again?
Why don't you tell the people who they have coming up next? They're going to hear from right inside.
Who they're going to be coming? Who's going to be coming up next? Man, he is the boss. He's the boss of all NXT. He's the guy that has taken over, and not just taken over by storm, and not just ruling, NXT. He's ruling it with an iron fist. He is that man, Channing Stacks Lorenzo, coming up next here inside the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Boom! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. And I've told you guys we got a very special guest stepping inside the Hall of Fame. He is one Channing Stacks Lorenzo.
Got that right, Book.
What's going on?
You not saying the underboss. I appreciate you putting me over as the Don, the new boss.
Hey, bro.
Guy ruling with the iron fist. I like that. That was a good intro.
Hey, bro. Hey, man, you the guy. You're the guy. I could see this coming a long time, man. I could see this coming a long time. Even more than a year ago when Stacks got locked up, and a lot of people say Stacks was inside, ratting on people, you know what I mean, doing things that just didn't coincide with what a real boss was all about, man. What was that?
Tony got locked up. He was the guy who made the wrong moves and did things through. I was the one who figured it out to get him out.
Exactly my point. My point. At that point in time, is that when you can see like the cracks, in the foundation of Tony D?
I saw the cracks from the get-go. I'm not going to lie to you. I remember sitting at that table in the restaurant listening to him, and I was just thinking to myself, he is showing signs of weakness right off the bat. I think the big moment, though, for me was last year, Stand and Deliver. I had a plan. I brought something to the table for him when he was fighting Ilya for the NXT championship, and he turned it down. He wanted to do things his way. And that, to me, is when a guy who I once saw as a killer, a guy who I once saw as somebody who was, could take over NXT and be that NXT champion, he was showing a sign of weakness. And then for the last year, I've seen that more and more and more. And I just remember picking him up off that mat at last year's Stand and Deliver and thinking to myself, this ain't the guy. This guy should be my underboss. This guy should be taking orders from me, because the way he wants to do things with respect, with, the right way, I don't know. To me, NXT, like you said, so many people coming in and out, LFG, all that right now. Like, you have to be a killer right now. You have to be commanding respect. You got to make decisions that are tough. And hey, you got to act on them. And to me, he doesn't have his finger on the trigger like he used to. And that's why at this year's Stand and Deliver, I had to do something to put myself in a better position to succeed.
Do you actually feel like he was purposely, you know, holding you back, holding you down, not letting you get to that next level? Keep holding that piece of cheese, right in front of your face. Keep telling you you got to pay your dues. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like he was purposely doing that?
I think the issue became, we were tag champs together, and then, two-time tag champs. And then he just said to, he told me, he's like, I want to go do my own thing. And I'm like, okay, I understand that. You want to, take yourself to a better position. You want to become NXT champion. I support that. More opportunities will maybe come from me, you climbing the ladder. But I think over that year or more, it was requiring, him going after these opportunities required a lot of us and family and me. I had to make sure that every match he was getting, I was, making sure Tony was ready. I was putting plans together to make sure that he was going to, walk out of there with the North American title, the Heritage Cup. And I think in that time, I didn't get any opportunities because the amount of work I had to put into making sure Tony stayed the Don and became the most powerful guy in the brand consumed me. And there was nothing left for me. I was eating scraps. And he, you know what? I think he was fine watching me eat scraps. And that's why, a year ago at Stand and Deliver, my mind changed, and I'm tired of eating scraps. I see so much more for myself. I didn't come into this. I've never been anybody's second my whole life. I've always been my own man. I've grown up hard trauma in my childhood, everything. I've done everything for myself my whole life. I don't want anybody speaking for me. I don't want anybody telling me what to do anymore, especially not some guy who I don't think has got the right mind and is as crazy and a killer like me. So I don't think he was deliberately taking away opportunities from me, but in the process of keeping him the Don of NXT, I was losing myself. And I wasn't who I saw coming into NXT over 3 years ago. At this point in my career, I thought I would be beyond where I am. And not to say that I haven't accomplished a lot, but I also think being underneath him and in his shadow, people haven't gotten to see who Stax Lorenzo really is.
Yeah.
And that's what Battleground's for. And, I'm normally a joke cracker. I normally like to have a good time. I know you love cracking jokes too, Book and stuff, but like, I've never felt this way heading into a fight. I'm thinking about Sunday at Battleground and standing across the ring from somebody who's my best friend, my brother, and all of that pent up anger that I have thinking about 3 years of my life wasted underneath him. And I'm going to take it out on him at Battleground. And yeah, I mean, send the kids for a walk during that one, because it's not going to be pretty. I'm not in a good place. I'm a little crazy, and it's going to be one to see if you like violence.
We know Stacks. Look, on when you go out there and battleground against Tony D'Angelo, I remember Denzel Washington said in American Gangster, the loudest one in the room's the weakest one in the room. And Tony's been running his mouth for a long time, and you're gonna finally, leave him laying 8 miles away, 6 feet deep on Sunday. You're gonna be the new Don of NXT, but then you're gonna come to reality wrestling, and you're gonna become the Don of reality of wrestling at Glory 3. What does it mean for you to come down here to the H, come down here to Houston, and show everybody what Stacks is all about?
I told Booker this when I first got to the PC. I go to Booker. I talk to him a lot because, and he was the one who told me I needed to find my, be that killer, be somebody who, is in there kicking ass and not holding back anything. And, I was actually back before I signed to NXT. I was at Reality Wrestling, and I was not the same guy. I was not a killer. I was not somebody who was ready for that moment. But I look at it now, and after Sunday at Battleground, I am going to be in the best position of my career. And I also think, Book, I know you got a lot of guys there, a lot of guys you're looking out after, and you want to see them get opportunities. All I'm going to say is, the ones you like, the ones you respect, and you want to see things for, I would suggest you keep them out of my way, because I'm not going to be in the best mood after Battleground, regardless of how it goes. I'm ready to show people what the real Don of NXT looks like. And the Don of reality of wrestling. And what's that going to be? You're going to find out, Book. And, protect the ones you love. Unlike Tony, who didn't protect the ones he loved.
Nah, I'm going to tell you right now, bro. I talk about it all the time. This business is about two things. It's about checks and championships. And it seems like, Tony D was slipping, man. It seemed like he was, he couldn't pull the trigger. He couldn't put his finger on the button. I get it. I've been a young guy. I've been in that position. And when you smell blood in the water, you like a shark. You want to get in there and you want to eat. So, man, I say, man, go for it. This business is about winners. It's not about losers. I was just talking about it a second ago. It's about stepping on some toes and keep on walking, Jack. You know what I mean? It's about going out there and getting that paper, baby. Oh yeah, man. So me, myself, Stacks, I congratulate you in your newfound, sense of purpose. I say go out there and take it. Don't let nobody, have to, stand around. Wait, go out there and take it, my son. So I'll be looking forward to seeing you at Reality Wrestling. I know you told me you got something very, very special, very, very special cooked up for Reality Wrestling and all the Reality Wrestling fans. May 31st at the Walker, Texas Lawyer Arena, Glory 3. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out, because Stacks, not the underboss, I'm talking about the boss man that rules with an iron fist, will be stepping inside. So guys, get your tickets. Get them now. Stacks, we appreciate you for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, boss.
Appreciate you, Book.
Oh, that is. Hey guys, this is the Hall of Fame. Need you guys to stick around, because we got another special guest coming up here in just a minute. That was Stacks, the boss, the guy that makes all the damn rules at NXT. So guys, stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
Fellas, let's talk about confidence. The kind of confidence that counts when it's time to step up and deliver. And that's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets designed to help men achieve stronger, harder, and longer lasting erections. We're talking about getting in the game and staying in it.
And you know what they say, man, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And with Blue Chew, you can take these chewables anytime, day or night. So you're always good to go when the opportunity strikes. And the best part, the entire process is done online. No doctor's visits, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy.
Ooh, yeah. And Blue Chew is putting their money where their mouth is, offering you a whole month for free. It's simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com and consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once approved, you'll receive your prescription delivered discreetly right to your door, made in the USA and ready to go when you are.
Now, Brad, let's get real. Does it work? Man, they'll mistake you for a soldier at full salute. You'll be pitching a tent like a true Eagle Scout, man. Blue Chew won't stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house. That's the mission, dog.
And listen, confidence is key, especially when you're all bricked up. There's nothing sexier than a man who's ready to go. And at BlueChew.com, they can help bring that energy when it matters most. Don't miss out on what could be the best night of your life. Make life easier by getting harder. Discover your options at BlueChew.com, and we've got a deal just for our listeners. Try your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com, use the promo code Booker, and there's more details and important safety information. And as always, we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast.
Oh, yeah, man. Booyah! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. We're just chopping it up, getting ready for a huge show coming up May 31st. Glory 3. This is our second tier show that we just added to Reality of Wrestling. And we got Platinum and we got Glory now. And we want to thank everybody for supporting, talking about comments. Comments been so freaking awesome as far as adding the second show, as far as how it looks so different, as well as there again, we have our own Raw and SmackDown being on this level. It makes me feel pretty good to be able to facilitate the talent more than anything, because we got so much young talent out there right now that's doing so well. We got this ID program, and one guy, a couple of guys, Sam Holloway, Cap Jones, Sean Legacy, got a chance to network with those guys at NXT just this last week, and I said, man, we need to add you guys in the fold. We need to really at Reality Wrestling. We don't want you guys just to be ID guys going forward. We want you guys to be Reality of Wrestling guys. So that's a part of the ID program. So we're going to be really, leaning heavily into trying to bring these new guys into Reality of Wrestling, because there's so much talent out there that's trying to get to that next level. That's just like so close, just knocking on the door. So let's figure out how to get them over the threshold.
Well, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for Glory 3 book. We just had Stacks on. He's talking about Battleground and what was coming up there. And we have another special guest waiting to join us if you want to introduce them.
Boom. She is, like I say, she's the queen. She's the princess. She's the Renaissance woman. She's everything all in one. She's been the liaison at TNA Wrestling as of late, and she is one. Ladies and gentlemen, like I say, if you don't have your sunshades on, put them on that now, because she's stunning. Give it up for Ariana Grace.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on.
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm just in my hometown in Canada right now. We're at the TNA tapings, so it's nice to be back in good old Canada.
Man, we appreciate you for stepping on for a second. How you been liking your new role over there at TNA? It seems like you're stepping out and doing a little something different right now.
I mean, I love it. I'm the liaison, and I've been able to take full responsibility and credit for this crossover between NXT and TNA, which has been awesome. I think the fans love it, and it's also been really cool just to work with another company and learn kind of the differences between like NXT, WWE, TNA. I feel like a wrestler. I love it.
Are you? I got to ask the tough questions.
I love tough questions.
Are you like secretly trying to, slide into Santino's job and kick him to the curb? Maybe. I'm just wondering. You know what I mean?
Who, me?
Because you've been getting a lot of airtime lately. I was just wondering. That's a legitimate question.
Well, I mean, I'll take what I can get, but I wouldn't want to step on his toes. No. I don't want the Cobra.
Oh, man. Brad, go ahead.
Yeah, no. Well, I wanted to ask you, you've obviously been doing a lot of work in TNA, NXT, but coming down to Reality of Wrestling here under the expert tutelage of Booker T, Glory 3 next Saturday. How do you feel about coming down to Texas?
I'm excited. And, like I said, I wear lots of caps. Sometimes I wear a crown, sometimes I wear these space buns. So I'm excited to go down to Reality of Wrestling and see, what can Ariana get her hands on? How can I get involved? And again, I don't want to take anybody's jobs. I don't want to mess around too much. But I like to see how I can make things better, spice things up, add a little bit of my sparkle wherever I can put it.
Yeah, well, I tell you, our general manager of Glory, Ivory Robbins, says she's bringing you in for something very, very special. The reality wrestling fans could be getting ready for something so different. So guys, make sure you get your tickets and get them now. I know you've been playing the role of liaison, but I watched you in the ring perform, and I felt like, man, you're so close to perhaps crashing that glass ceiling. How's the training been going, or has the training been going? Have you been in the ring? Keeping the ring rushed off. What about that side?
100%. I think now, for like the past year, I have been training very hard. I feel like I've really only had just a handful of matches to really showcase what I've been working on. So it's exciting for me because I know what I have in my reserves. I know what I have in these pockets. So I'm just waiting to empty these pockets and show, just how much I've been listening, learning, and it's exciting. It's exciting, and not to say that I'm underestimated, but as a pageant queen, sometimes people think, you're just this kind, beautiful, caring, amazing. Sorry, I could go on, but sometimes people think that's all you are. But no, no, no. We got some more. We got some more surprises for people. So I can't wait to blow them away in every way that it possibly can.
Watching as much as you have throughout your life and being a part of TNA and NXT, like you said, and getting in there in the ring, are there people who are like on your bucket list that you would love to get in there, be it TNA, reality wrestling, WWE, NXT, that you really want to get in there and mix it up with?
Absolutely. Like, and here's where, like, I don't want to be cliche, but like everyone. It's
Right.
like when you're painting a picture, like I'm someone who, when I paint a picture, I like to use all the colors. I'm somebody who, like, I love food. I love all the flavors. Anyone that I can get in there with and learn from, create art with, mix my flavor with their flavor, like that is what I'm all about. But of course, like, I have to say, like, watching my dad wrestle and like all the women that I always looked up to, like an Alicia Fox, like a Serena Deeb, a Natalia, like, I know, like, Beth is like retired now, but like those women, like the Bellas, like that whole era, like any of those women. I'm a big Asuka fan. Um, any of these amazing women would be unbelievable to work with. But like I said, I love to work with anybody, make some art, make some magic.
Hey, I've been in that position before. I'm just, like waiting. Like looking for that opportunity. And I always say, man, preparation, is the only luck you're ever gonna have. When that knock comes. So, you know, um, I hope you've been preparing. You know what I mean? Because I think that day is gonna come for you. As far as getting your time to shine, because I really, like I say, I really saw something in you from that perspective. As far as injuries go or anything like that, you haven't, how's the body holding up?
I mean, so I think it was in June last year. I had an old boxing injury because before I ever started wrestling, I was training actually to take some boxing fights. I was big into boxing for a few years. I was training very rigorously, just as rigorously with my wrestling now as I was with
Wow.
boxing. So I had a little bit of like a labrum tear. So last year after heat wave, I had to get my shoulder patched up. But I'd been wrestling that whole time with a little bit of a wonky shoulder. So
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
I am patched up better than I've ever been. Now this knife is sharp, sharper than it's ever been. So I feel amazing. I feel excited. I feel like I'm moving better than ever. I just needed a little bit of a, and now I'm good to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
You said you grew up watching your pops. Obviously, we all love what your dad did and continues to do. in the business, but one of his greatest attributes was his character work and his ability on the microphone and to make people feel something. Not even what he did in the 20 by 20, but what he said to bring us in. I'm sure you picked up a lot of great little character tips from him along the way.
I mean, oddly enough, like he's never explicitly told me character tips, but he's my dad. So it's like I've sponged, I think, without knowing. Like we have a lot of similarities and like even our sense of humor is very similar, and working with him at TNA, like our first ever pre-tape, we were just back and forth vibing. Like of course we have instant chemistry, like he's my dad, but I was like, wow. I thanks.
Wow.
Thanks, Dad. I downloaded your no, I didn't download anything. I like absorbed your genes. Like I got, that sense from him. So that's a good gift. And it's been so cool working with him. I never thought it would be like this early on in my career. But I mean, it's awesome. I get to go to work and I get to see my dad, like, and hang out, and like it's been a blessing, I think.
Awesome. I tell you, it's got to be a blast, man. Being able to do something like that, especially after watching him from a little girl, and then find yourself right there next to him, having that same responsibility. But now, man, I want to thank you for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. But I tell you also, be ready May 31st, because watch your back.
All right.
The diamonds at Reality of Wrestling, man, they are very, very devious. So make sure you
Okay.
make sure you watch your back when you come to Reality of Wrestling. But ladies and gentlemen, there again, the princess, the queen, the Renaissance woman. Give it up for Ariana Grace. Appreciate you for stepping inside.
Thank you so much for having me, you guys. I appreciate it. It's been an honor.
Awesome. See you on the 31st.
See you there. My eyes will be peeled.
Boom. Hey, man. It's the Hall of Fame, man. It's the Hall of Fame. I want to thank you guys for stepping inside the Hall of Fame with me as well. We still got one more special guest that's going to be stepping inside, talking about this big show going down May 31st at the Walker, Texas Lawyer Arena. Glory 3. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. Live streamed on Title Match Network. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, y'all, Booker T here alongside with my main man, Brad Gilmore. And today we're talking about something that could really change the game when it comes to how you get paid.
That's right, Booker, because let's face it, life doesn't just happen every 2 weeks. So why wait for a payday? With Earn In, the money you've earned already can be in your hands today.
Earn In is this incredible app that lets you access your pay as you earn it. We're talking about up to $100 per day and up to $750 each pay period.
All you got to do is download the Earn In app, verify your paycheck, and boom, you can access up to $100 a day as you work. And the cool part, you just leave an optional tip, and any money you access plus the tip gets repaid when your next paycheck rolls in.
You know, Brad, I'm always talking about staying ready so you don't have to get ready, right? Imagine having that extra cash for that surprise date night, or maybe when you have to take the furry little friend to the vet unexpectedly. You know.
Absolutely, Booker. Or even those times when you need to grab a last minute gift, or maybe you're a little short on rent, or hey, even you might want to pick up some new gear for yourself or your kids or your lady.
Folks, make Earn In part of your financial playbook. Join over 3.5 million customers who are finding financial stability and peace of mind thanks to Earn In.
So don't wait around for a payday. Get your money when you need it and take control of your finances. Download Earn In today and experience what it's like to access pay on your terms.
Get started with Earn In now and join the millions who are getting their pay their way. It's time to earn in, not just earn. Check it out, man. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. There again, big show going down May 31st. We promoting, man. We promoting because there again, reality wrestling is getting to a point to where we need to do a little bit more work. more work we do, the better everything is going to be. And the thing is, I'm one like Elvis has come back, and no Elvis is back. No one's going to show up. No one's going to show up. So we definitely got to put eyes on Reality of Wrestling's second tier show, and I wouldn't even call it a second tier show, a sister show. Let's say that sister show. Give it some love because it's definitely going to grow into something that's going to be really, really special. May 31st, got some really, really special guests coming in. One of the guys that's going to be on the show is he's a staple already, and he's doing big things. He's making money moves. And when I brought him in as a man, and I said, hey, bro, I need you to come in and I need you to do a job. He said, bro, you know, just point me in the direction and I will do that job, and I would do that job well. And I said, all right, man, you know what I mean? How rough are you really willing to go? He said, man, I'm willing to step on some toes, and I'm willing to step on some toes and keep on walking, Jack. You know, I said, are you the man I need for the job? And that man is the Reality of Wrestling television champion, AJ Francis.
Yeah, man. We love AJ Francis. He should be joining us here momentarily on the Hall of Fame to talk about what's going on in Glory 3. Glory 3. And you know what? Also some breaking news here, because I found this out yesterday. I'm excited because I'll be making my Glory debut. One of our Sammy Kiss has gone down. He's not going to be available to be there. So me and Kirby Carry on going to be in the booth, title match. Wrestling. I'm going to be on the call in my Glory debut. I'm excited to be a part of Glory because I will say this, Book. These last few reality wrestling shows, I mean, now it's every other week. And, you know, before, I think I'm actually being serious. Like, it was a month between tapings normally, right? Every second Saturday. And I would start to feel like withdrawals, like between those 30-day periods. Because I'm like, man, I'm not around the show. Like, I want to be around the guys, the girls, you know, the creativity. There's nothing more fun than being in that office a few hours before showtime and try to figure everything out, you know, throwing out ideas and getting creative. And, oh, what about this? What about that? Oh, we could do this, that. And what's cool, too, is like, it doesn't matter how much we talk on the phone or have meetings, you know, before the shows, like days before, weeks before, something about that day of energy. Has it always been like that? Like for you throughout your career, that day of energy is different. You know, you could talk about it, but when it gets there, oh, man.
For me, it's kind of like the same with my wrestling career. Couldn't wait for it to be over. You know, like the match today.
I understand what you mean.
I couldn't wait to get that performance over with. You know, so I would be anticipating the 1, 2, 3. You know, how to utilize that time. You know, I had so many thoughts going on in my head as far as, you know, what I had to do, because it was the most nerve-wracking thing in the world to perform in front of you know, thousands of people with your underwear on. That's the way I always used to think about it, you know. But nah, man. But I loved it. I loved it at the same time. It was one of those things. Even like with doing the show now, you know, I mean, I love it. You know, even like we're doing NXT, I can't wait to 10 o'clock. You know, that 10 o'clock bell hit and it's over with. Even though I've had so much fun that night. You know, I don't know. It's always been that way, but it's I think that nervous energy, you know what I mean? That nervous energy, that ride, you know. But for me, I think I've always been able to use that nervous energy at the same time.
There is something that you just hit on that I completely agree with. Like, you're excited to do the thing. Like, I'm sure you were excited to do the match, right? But then, like, when it was match time, you're like, I just want to get this thing over with. Like, even the show sometimes. Like, I have more fun being like kind of the producer role on Glory and like running around in the back and watching the matches from the curtain, you know, and from the monitor, than being out there on the call. Because when you're out there on the call, as you know, it's like pressure's on. You want to make sure you get everything in, get the stories in there, get the guys, you know, shine them up or whatever. And there's pressure. There's nothing better than it's like, oh, main event's up. All right, cool. We're about to get this thing done, man. Let's get to that, you know, 1, 2, 3, and let's get up out of here. So it is an interesting thing that I think that if you haven't like been a part of like a show of some aspect, not even just a wrestling show, comedy show, television show, whatever, you don't realize like you're excited for it, but you're more excited to get it over with.
Yeah. Nah, man, it's always been that way with me. But like I say, it makes me want to get it right. Also,
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things. It's one of those things when I say using that nervous energy, getting it to work for you. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
When did you know, like in a match, like when you're going in there, and I mean, against it didn't matter who, but like when do you know in the match that okay, we got him, like we got him? Is there always like a moment where you're like, boom, got these guys, or can you feel it? I guess is what I'm saying. Like when you're say you got 15 minutes and you're 10 in and you're not feeling that energy that you expect, or you are 3 in and they're already going crazy and y'all haven't even touched yet, like. You have that sense about it?
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, all matches are different.
Right.
Some matches you aren't going in there for that. You know what I mean? Some matches it's just about to finish. You're not thinking about anything else. But then you got those certain matches when you're out there performing, and you got them. When you get them, it's a moment that's like no other moment. Where opposed to the fans watching us, we're watching the fans. At that moment in time. It's a snapshot moment in time to where we actually watch the fans and their reactions. That's when you really know you got them. When you can actually have a snapshot.
Oh man, I've never heard it put that way. Yeah, I think I heard Edge or Cope rather one time say if they count along to the 3, that was the music he would wait for. Like if the fans count along 1, 2, 3, that's
Yeah.
when he knew, wow. Like it was at the end of the match, but you knew we did our job that night. They counted along with the 3. They were excited for it.
Yeah, I guess that works too. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, being able to watch the fans, when it's like after the 3 count. I mean, after a hard 2 count.
1, 2, wow.
And
then
they
you see him.
Then you stop and then you watch them. That's when you get a snapshot.
Yeah.
That's when you really got them. You know what I mean? Before the actual 1, 2, 3.
I was listening to Ken Anderson was on. I think he was on with Van Vliet this week, and I haven't heard like a long form interview of his a lot. So I was interested to hear kind of what his viewpoints was on his career and his time in the WWE. And there was that Money in the Bank match that he won that you were a part of that year. I think it was you, Edge, Kennedy, CM Punk, Matt, Jeff Hardy, like a who's who of Hall of Famers in this Money in the Bank ladder match. It was during your King Booker run. I just thought that, and I don't know what exactly happened, and he didn't really get into it, but I thought Ken Kennedy was going to be a guy, like the guy on SmackDown. I felt like he had, I don't remember one move of his, but I remember the everything about him. Do you know what I mean? Like I remember the promos. I remember the entrance. I remember how he made me feel. I hated this guy. He looked the part. Everything seemed to be perfect with Ken Anderson.
Yeah. Hey, I thought so also. But one thing about the business, man, one wrong move, pissed the wrong person off. There your career goes. I mean, I'm serious. That's just the way it is. And the thing is, Kennedy always went by that 99, 100% rule. If he felt a certain way, he was going to speak up. And what did I say about speaking up?
You got to be willing to get fired.
You got to be willing to get fired, and he was always willing to, he'll probably say it himself now, he probably wish he probably would have done it differently, probably, you know what I mean? I could be wrong.
Did you enjoy working with him?
Yeah, we always had a good time. I don't remember anything specific that we did because he wasn't there really long enough.
Mm-hmm.
Enough stuff, you know what I mean? But I do remember, being around Ken on a couple occasions.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just like so silly and that's like such a pro wrestling thing of like he got over by just saying his last name twice. Like, can you think of anything more pro wrestling than that?
Like I said, I used to like his gimmick, man.
It's a great gimmick.
When he first came in, he had a different swag, even though he was kind of compared to Stone Cold a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But he did have a swag about him to where, man, this guy's cool. He's different. I mean, he might be one of the guys that could stand apart from the rest of the roster. You know what I mean? So I felt like he had all the freaking tools to actually be able to get that done. Seriously.
Yeah. Now there's some LA Knight comparisons. He and LA Knight, which I can see that.
I can see that also.
Yeah,
definitely see that as
100%.
well. Yeah. It don't look like we going to get AJ in today.
I believe AJ might be on his TNA location. Doing some work. He's defending the reality wrestling television champion.
He might be doing some big money business. So we ain't gonna hold him accountable for not being able to be here today. But next time we'll definitely get AJ Francis, my main man inside the Hall of Fame. But it's time for us to wrap it up out of here, man.
It's time to get up out of here, Bulk. I mean, we had a phenomenal stream. I want to
thank Stacks. I want to thank Ariana Grace. Now the boss, Channing, Stacks, Lorenzo. Let me give him his props, as well as the princess, the queen, the Renaissance woman, Ariana Grace, as well as you guys. Thanks for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Brad, for all the heavy lifting. And until next time, peace. We love you. And we out, man.